Look at your life right now, your habits, your mindset, your energy, your results. You think they belong to you, but they don't. They belong to the people you spend your time with. Whether you realize it or not, your circle controls you. That's not an exaggeration. It's the silent truth shaping every outcome in your existence. Because no matter who you think you are, you will always rise or fall to the level of the company you keep. The people in your circle are either multiplying your potential or slowly draining it. They're pushing you toward greatness or pulling you back into mediocrity, but make no mistake, they are doing one or the other. Look close. Who are you surrounded by? Whose voices do you hear the most? Whose opinions guide your decisions? Whose energy you absorb? Whose dreams or lack of them reflect your own? You want to know your future? Don't look at your vision board. Look at your circle, because proximity is not just physical, it's psychological. The people closest to you don't just influence how you think, they program how you think. If you are surrounded by doubters, you will start to question what once felt certain. If you are surrounded by dreamers, you will begin to think bigger than you ever dared before. Environment beats willpower every single time. You can have the drive of a lion, but if you run with sheep long enough, you'll start grazing. You'll start talking small, thinking safe, chasing acceptance instead of achievement. The highest minds in history all understood this truth. Napoleon Hill called it the mastermind principle. Surrounding yourself with minds that elevate yours, people who challenge your excuses and ignite your imagination. Because if you're surrounded by small thinkers, your mind will shrink to fit the room. The mind feeds on whatever it's exposed to most. You can't plant yourself in an average circle and expect extraordinary growth. It's like planting a flower in concrete and wondering why it doesn't bloom. You are not broken. You're just in the wrong garden. Every conversation plants a seed. Every friendship waters that seed. And your circle is the soil. If the soil is toxic with gossip, negativity, laziness, or envy, no amount of personal drive will protect you forever. Eventually, you absorb it. You begin to match it. The hard truth most people avoid is this: we become our environment. You might think, I'm stronger than that. People don't influence me. But science and history both disagree. Whether through energy, tone, or belief, people calibrate you without your awareness. You pick up their habits, values, and fears like an echo. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. If your circle laughs at ambition, you'll stop showing yours. If they ridicule failure, you'll stop taking risks. But if your circle lives with discipline, gratitude, and hunger, you'll mirror those same qualities until they define your identity. The question you need to ask isn't, how do I succeed? It's, who do I need to become, and who must I be around to become it? Most people fail because they refuse to leave the circle that keeps them comfortable. They crave belonging more than progress. They trade their dreams for approval. They know they're in the wrong room, but they're afraid to walk out, because outside that room, no one claps for average effort. But listen closely. Staying small to keep everyone comfortable will never bring you peace. You will suffocate under the weight of unexpressed potential. And the worst part, those same people you shrink for, they won't even rescue you when the regret sets in. Sometimes growth means outgrowing people. It doesn't mean you're better than them. It means you've chosen a bigger vision than they can understand. There will be people who love the old version of you, but resent the new one. They'll say, you've changed, and they'll be right. You're supposed to. That's what evolution looks like. It offends the stagnant. Be careful who you let speak over your dreams. Words are seeds, and voices are spells. The opinions you hear most often will become the beliefs you defend most fiercely. Stand in the wrong circle long enough, and average will start sounding like wisdom. Soon you'll find yourself arguing for limits you never believed in before. When you hear, it's too risky, be realistic, or nobody does that, understand this. They're not describing reality. They're describing their own mindset. Don't let someone else's fear become your forecast. Your dreams might intimidate them because it reminds them of their own lapses in courage. But you're not here to ease their discomfort. You're here to wake up your greatness. So how do you change it? Start curating your environment like your future depends on it, because it does. Seek those who challenge your thinking, who tell you the truth, not what you want to hear. Find people with standards that make you uncomfortable, because that's how you rise. When the room raises its expectations, you rise instinctively to meet them. Discipline is contagious. So is excellence. You don't need to cut everyone off cruelly, but you do need to distance yourself deliberately. Protect your mental space like it's sacred ground, because it is. Expose yourself to new conversations, new energy, new influences. Every book you read, every seminar you attend, every mentor you learn from becomes part of your circle. Surround your mind with the voices of vision, not the noise of doubt. When your environment becomes an echo chamber of belief and ambition, your life cannot help but transform. That's the power of association. That's why Hill said, "No mind ever becomes great in isolation. Greatness requires combination. It requires synergy. It requires connection with people who make your excuses too heavy to carry." So take an honest audit of your life today. Who drains you? Who fuels you? Who challenges you to grow? Who keeps you tethered to comfort? Because every one of them is shaping your direction right now. If you stay where you are, you will become more of what surrounds you. But if you change what surrounds you, you will become more of what you were meant to be. It's that simple, and it's that powerful. The circle you choose is the prophecy of your destiny. Want to see how far someone will go? Don't look at their potential. Look at their proximity. Look at who they allow to influence them on their worst days. Because average circles give sympathy. Great circles give strategy. One will keep you comfortable. The other will keep you accountable. One will make you feel good for staying still. The other will make you restless until you move. So choose wisely. Don't settle for the circle that admires your weakness. Find the one that expects your greatness. Don't align with those who make you question your worth. Align with those who expose your worth. People who won't let you drown in excuses, who remind you of who you are when you forget. Because when you find that circle, that alliance of growth, faith, and hunger, you'll notice a change. Your thinking sharpens. Your energy multiplies. Your goals stop feeling impossible. You walk differently. You speak differently. Even failure feels like training instead of defeat. That's the power of proximity. It rewires your reality. The truth is simple. Your circle shapes your standards, and your standards shape your success. You can't soar with believers if you spend your days crawling with doubters. So today, decide. Step out of the circle that drains your passion and into the one that demands your greatness. Because your future is watching, and it knows exactly which circle you'll choose. Your circle controls you until you decide it doesn't. And the moment you take that control back, you will never again mistake comfort for growth, average for peace, or company for progress. That is the price of greatness and the beginning of freedom.